Alright guys, welcome to another video. Alright, so today we're gonna blow away a myth. Alright, can you turn muscle into fat? Alright, so many people are under the concept that you can actually turn muscle into fat. The thing is, straight up, can you do it? The answer is no. Alright, they are two completely different things, two completely different chemical compounds, and they metabolize differently, and that's it. End video. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe as always. Not really, alright. We're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna drop a little bit of scientific information. It's gonna be a little bit of infographics and stuff like that. Put a bit of music behind it, keep this informative. Alright, so straight off the bat, with turning fat into muscle, it doesn't happen, okay? So you have to understand the mechanisms behind burning fat. So burning that subcutaneous and visceral fat, getting rid of that. So decreasing the body fat percentage and increasing that lean muscle mass. That can be done. That's called recomposition. So you're increasing your lean muscle mass at the same time and you're decreasing body fat. This is very, very common in beginners. People that are more so intermediate to advanced, it still can happen depending on your periodization, programming, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's for a different video. But for the sole fact of turning fat and muscle, it can't happen like chemically and like physics, bloody science, biology. It's just not gonna happen, okay? So what happens is you lift weights, you get stronger. You tear the muscles, you stress them, micro trauma, they repair, that muscle slowly builds up. That's called muscle hypertrophy. And then you've got burning fat, okay? Burning fat happens in a calorie deficit, okay? When your body doesn't have enough energy, when you're below your TDEE, total daily energy expenditure. So when you're below your TDEE is when you're in a calorie deficit. And this is when your body's gonna make up fat and use that as usable energy. Your body can use lean muscle mass for that, but generally fat is used first and then muscle is, okay? Just the way mechanisms work. So a lot of people would be familiar with ketogenic diet. This is primarily what this is based around, being in ketogenesis. So following the keto diet, not using actual like carbohydrates, energy as glucose, your body will use fat, but you have to still be in a calorie deficit for this to happen. And then for building muscle, you either have to be at maintenance or in a calorie surplus. So this is called anabolic. So being anabolic is building muscle. Being catabolic is not building muscle and actually burning fat. There's a few different mechanisms behind that, but we don't really need to get in that today. Just remember that. So calorie surplus is when you're going to build muscle. Calorie deficit is when you're going to lose a little bit of muscle and burn a shit ton of fat, that being subcutaneous and visceral fat, and that's going to decrease your body fat percentage. Can you build muscle at the same time and burn fat? Yes, you can. It generally happens around a recomposition, which is basically for beginners which have a lot of genetic potential. Someone who hasn't exercised in years can jump on a bike and they'll see a little bit of muscle hypertrophy, see a little bit of growth in the legs, the arms, they start going to do some curls. They'll see changes, boom, like instantaneous, like within like weeks, they'll see changes. But when you've been training for anywhere like 6 months plus, the change is going to happen slowly as your sort of body gets used to that resistance, that stimulus and all that kind of stuff. And then you'll slowly increase and build a lot more muscle. But that being said, fat, you have to be in a calorie deficit, and to build muscle, you have to be in a calorie surplus, and you have to give your body the right stimulus, have to be lifting the correct weights, correct form, time under tension, right amount of volume, right amount of intensity. And with burning fat, regardless of what kind of training you do, whether you're doing HIIT, low intensity, medium intensity, you're training strength, you're training hypertrophy, you still have to be like the mechanism to burn fat, regardless of how you train. You have to be in a calorie deficit. And the way we do this is through managing your calories and your food intake. And then that falls under a few different myths that I am going to cover off in later videos, which is TEF, which is basically the thermal effect of food. So eating 6 meals compared to 3, it doesn't change, doesn't stoke your metabolic rate, doesn't increase your metabolism to burn fat more often. 3,000 calories is still 3,000 calories regardless of the macronutrients it comes from, okay? People say there's empty calories, but at the end of the day, a calorie is still a calorie. I understand there's 4 calories to protein, there's 4 calories to carbs, there's 9 calories to fat for 1 gram each. But that being said, they still have an energy rating. And the way you can plan to lose weight or gain weight is understanding them and being in a slight deficit or a slight surplus, lean bulking or slightly decreasing your calories to initiate whatever your goal and what you want it to be. All right, I'm gonna probably cover off on this in a part 2 because there's a lot more to it. Anyway, hope you guys really enjoyed it. Make sure you'll like it, drop a comment. Always drop a comment, turn on the notifications, and make sure you share it with your friends, and also subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Dark in need of light.